Oh, we've been live for like 10 seconds. Oh, great.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Todd and Kira here. We are going unscripted, and we can be unscripted. What? Which is kind of a play on
Hypnosis. Because with hypnosis, you often do scripts.
Yes.
So that you can walk people through being hypnotized.
Yeah. And then also, too, there's this whole school of thought where you should never use a script. And that's, so we're just playing with that. And I see someone's out there to say hi to me, Todd. Say hi. Post in the comments. So, hello. I want to see who it is. Put your name just in case I can't see your face.
We will not say another word until you say who you are. Just kidding. So, what are we here for today?
Well, I thought they were like, no, I'm gone. That's hilarious. Well, I feel so good. We just did Celebrate Your Life in Sedona.
Yes.
So I feel really, really good. I feel really happy. I feel whole. I feel full.
Yep. You did amazing too.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to show you some of that video. I was lucky enough, and Liz Dawn was gracious enough to allow me to be up on stage. And
she was teaching about hypnosis in front of 150 people.
I don't think it was that many people. I think some other people went to some other classes.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And about hypnosis, and you were bringing people up on stage and helping them. And even Liz and myself were like, wow, she is doing amazing up there. You really belonged up there.
Yeah. One of the exercises that I taught was called Circle of Excellence. And we'll share some of these videos with you as we kind of chop up the content, because we did videotape it. And it was really fun. And the Circle of Excellence is an NLP technique that helps you just step into, what it is that you're wanting to become and what you are becoming. And it's just so fun, and it's easy, and it takes no time at all to just say, yes, that I want to be this. And it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I thought maybe we would do a quick, instant happiness card. You want to do an instant happiness card with me? Okay. And I don't know. We're sight unseen. It's unscripted. It's wild. It's crazy. We don't even know what's going to happen next.
We don't even know what we're going to do.
We don't even know what's going to happen.
Don't even know.
Todd, pick a card. Any card. Pick a card. This is going to be a good one. Yeah.
Joker. Actually, this is instructions.
Oh, that's instructions.
On how to play the game.
Maybe that's what we need to talk about. How to play the game of life.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh,
I love this one. I really do.
This one is so good. And say hi to us. Say hi to us.
Say hi to us, please.
So we know who's here. Hey, it's Eileen. Hi, Eileen. Yay, instant happiness. Woo. All right, here it is. Todd, tell us what that card is that you drew.
This card says, nature always fills a vacuum. Nature always fills a vacuum, so it's important to make space for what you want to bring into your life. This applies not only to the more tangible physical things such as money, furniture, and pies. It also applies to relationships, ideas, and even emotions. If a person is full of bitterness and resentment, there isn't much room for fulfillment and happiness. Examine what you want to bring into your life and then start making room for it.
Yeah.
I love this one because before I even encountered this card, I was familiar with this concept, which is like if you give somebody like 2 hours to do something, then they'll fill the 2 hours to get that done usually. Like that's how the mind works.
Yeah.
If you give somebody else 15 minutes to get that done, they'll get it done in 15 minutes. I mean, I think it's like a management thing.
Yeah.
But same concept is illustrated, which is nature fills a vacuum, which is whatever time you have, that's if you're challenging yourself, you'll you'll hit the mark. If you're not, you'll also fill your time with other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you will. And I see that a lot. Now I'm going to call out one of our authors. She knows who she is. She knows who but she has 2 months to write something. And then, she's amazing. I've never seen anybody do it like this and actually be successful at it. She'll wait 2 months, and then the night of the due date, she'll write her entire chapter or article, and it's actually absolutely well done. So in that 2 months of vacuum, right, that she hasn't actually put pen to paper, she'll actually write it in her head. And then the night of the due date, and she has to have a due date. If she doesn't have a due date, it'll never get done. She then goes ahead and writes it all, and it's pretty flawless. And you know who I'm talking about.
I don't, because okay, yeah. But I've heard that same story with so many authors that nobody in particular had come to mind.
Yeah. Right.
And I was the same way with that.
Me too.
I would do better under pressure kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But as I kind of grew as a writer and author, I would see more of the benefit in starting earlier,
right,
and then revisiting it later.
Right.
Especially when you let something rest.
Yeah.
Then you come back and you're not in that same mode of thinking, and you can see what you were saying from a different perspective and develop it more. Yeah. And a lot of great writing can happen that way when you continually can come back to it, as opposed to forcing yourself to only get it done at the exact last minute, which can be beneficial. I mean, when it comes to getting stuff done, but why not set a self-imposed deadline sooner? Get it done and then come back and revisit it maybe.
Yeah, I love that. So if you're seeing us, please say hi to us. Say hi on their comments. I want to see who you are. I love you. So another way this I think works, nature always fills a vacuum, is the way I kind of felt it when it came through was life finds a way. Life finds a way. Weeds will grow up in between, and trees will grow up in between concrete. And it's like, there is no way. How did this happen? Like the was it the condor?
Yeah, Kenny. Sup, y'all?
She. Hi, Kenny.
I was texting with him earlier, and I said I gotta go.
So yes, life finds a way. And it was like, I think it's the condors in California. They're endangered right now. And I was watching the news, and it said they had asexual pregnancies. Asexual? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the females were just producing fermented eggs because fermented?
No, not
That's
fermented.
not what it's what is the right word for it? I forgot it. It's unscripted. We don't know, guys. So, but they were producing eggs fertilized that were already fertilized,
right, okay.
And because they're endangered and they're creating themselves, it is fascinating, and so there we go.
Thank you.
Who is that? Who's the one that said fertilized for me? Because I can't see your name on here. But thank you. I see you had it, and then you put it in my head. Did you see that before you even wrote it? So yeah, life finds a way. And, when there is a vacuum, there is a need. Amy King. Hi, Amy. When there's a need for new therapists and practitioners, because there's a ton of need right now.
That's a cool analogy.
Yeah, I think that we're all feeling the need to be there for each other, to love each other, to connect with each other, and it's just it's wonderful. It's like we found that people were coming to us and saying, "Hey, do you still treat clients? Do you?" And I'm like, we found this like need that was happening, and they were like, let's train some clinical hypnotherapists, and so that need gets filled for people, for sure.
And there's a lot of people looking for new opportunities these days too.
Yes,
this is like the biggest mass exodus of the job market ever.
Yeah, so. Everybody is coming into alignment and saying,
hi, Laura.
What? Hi, Laura. It's been forever, girlfriend. It's so good to see you. That's somebody, all of these people on here are just incredible, like healers, teachers, people who live their purpose. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, from musicians with Kenny to coaches to Laura, who brings communities and people together, and Eileen, who is just such a loving person, even when she goes through the worst of the worst. Eileen, you are incredible. I just love your energy. And
some power hitters.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So guys, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. And if you are just joining us, please say hi to me in the comments. Tell me who you are. I want to see your faces. Mwah. So what else? Do we want to pull another one? Just
Sure.
for funsies? For funsies.
I sure felt it. Goodness overload.
Goodness overload. Laura, that is gonna, I want your, that should be stitched on a pillow in your house somewhere. If it's not, it should be.
We can cross stitch that.
Patricia. Hey, baby. So good to see you.
This is another good one.
Yeah.
People want feelings, but they already have them.
Huh?
It means more than what you think it means.
You tell me, because I'm not quite sure.
People think they want things, but they actually want the feeling those things will get them. That sounds like Abraham 101.
Oh, yeah.
Abraham Hicks. Choose something you desire, a thing, an experience, a feeling, a change, etc. Now ask, what would that give me that I wouldn't otherwise have? Then ask the question again about that. For example, I want a new job. What would that give me that I wouldn't otherwise have? More money. What would more money give me that I wouldn't otherwise have? Freedom. Ask it several times and you'll end up at a feeling, often something like freedom, security, peace, or love. This is the feeling you'll feel when you've got what you want. Start feeling it now, and what you want will come even more easily and enjoyably.
Yeah, that's a good one. And this is something you guys can do with your clients too. If you're guys seeing clients or you just want to do it with yourself really quickly, it's just it's called chunking down. So you get down to the basic level, and this is in hypnosis and NLP. It's getting down to the base of what you're really desiring, what you're really wanting to feel. And the more you feel that thing, the more, it's believing is seeing. I think that was the name of Wayne Dyer's book. Believing is seeing, not seeing is believing. So it's that opposite flipped idea. And it's so cool because I have a perfect example. A perfect example was we were just talking about it this morning. Our dog, Honey, is the sweetest, most awesome dog in the whole world. And she's a pit bull. And Todd started generating good feelings about her before he even knew she existed or where she was or how we would find her or any of those details. He just said, I want this feeling from this dog. And we had lost a dog about a year prior. And it was just so heartbreaking, but he was like, I really want to attract this animal. Do you want to finish telling the story? You want me to keep
going? Yeah. I felt the draw to manifest a new dog, and from my own manifest, when I really want to manifest something, I remember the wise words of one of my favorite authors, Sanaya Roman, from the 80s, which is essence, not form, which is the same thing that Abraham teaches basically when it comes to, it's like feel the feeling that you want to feel now, and then you'll magnetize what you want quicker, because you're already manifesting the feeling of having it, as opposed to I don't have it yet. Yeah. So I started focusing on how I want to feel when I have that dog, and what it's going to, producing those feelings for myself, the feeling of having, and it was, good dog feelings,
the good dog feeling,
companionship,
sweet, not a big barker. I mean, you add in all the stuff, right. A dog we could take into the office with us.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I might have even made a list and made sure that everything on that list felt really good, and it contributed to that feeling. And then I didn't force myself to do anything. I just took I took whatever I did whatever I felt led to do
Yeah.
without imposing anything upon myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we took a couple of trips to like the rescue shelter, and we didn't. I think it was like 3 trips.
Yeah.
Because they always have new dogs coming through.
Yeah, we went to different places.
We went to different places,
and you know, there was definitely a significant feeling difference. Like a couple of times we went to different places, like, no, this doesn't feel right. I didn't even want to go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because we had that feeling guiding us, and anything else was either contributing to or a deterrent, I believe.
Yeah, right.
And so, you know, when we got closer to Honey, we, you know, that feeling kind of lit up more. And then it's like, oh, well, there's your answer. Yeah. And I will also say that, you know, essence, not form. You know, I had the different visual in mind of the dog. I thought of like a tan dog with up ears, and I didn't know the breed. Honey is not that.
She's beefy.
She's beefy,
thick,
brindle, down
ears.
but she had the energy of what I wanted, and I could feel it right away. Because dogs have personalities,
they
right?
do.
I remember
very sentient.
walking across the cages, and some dogs are barking and others are quiet, others are sleeping. And, you know, we're kind of reading the descriptions and the names of the different rescue dogs. And you know, we go by hers and she comes walking in slowly from outside, and she looked depressed. And I think she had just had babies, and
they had taken her away from the babies too soon.
And then she walked up, and I'm like, look at this one. And then she walked up, and then went up next to the fence, and then sat down,
push her whole body,
and then just went plop like this, right against the fence. And we both started
like
giggling,
putting our fingers in between the mesh.
We were petting her between the fence, and then it was history after that. You know?
Yeah, she was ours.
And then we met her up with introduced Jack, make sure they got along, and they did.
Immediately, like they just ignored. Really, basically, they just ignored each other. They were like, "Oh yeah, you're my partner for life," and you know, that's just it.
Yeah, you know, and you know really quickly with dogs if they're going to get along or not.
Yes.
So, there's Gigi.
Gigi, you're sweet too, girlfriend. Eileen says, chunky down, powerful, good stuff, and goodness overload. Kenny, wow, excellent advice. Yeah, I'm telling you. And, you know, if you have a partner in your life that can get on board as well, you know, because then after he shared with me his vision and his feelings and what he wanted to attract, I just got on board with that because those were all good feelings to me too. So then we amplified that energy when we went into these different places, and it was just a harmonizing. And I think that, you know, if you have someone in your life that you can do that with, this thing that you're looking for will happen very quickly. So when you're doing this, just go, how do I want to feel? Gosh, I need to attract so much money per month, or I need to bring in so much money per month. That's good to know what that goal is. Like, okay, I need bottom line base amount is $3,000 a month to pay for rent, groceries, gas, you know, electric, phone, all that kind of stuff. I have to have that. That's our bottom line. And then you say, okay, that's great and all. I got my idea. Now, how do I want to feel? And then what happens naturally is that you'll start to attract way more than that into your experience because you just feel so good about it already being there. Thinking from the end, right? Right.
It's the feelings of having that are magnetic, not the feelings of not having. So if it's just a goal and I don't have it yet, and I am reaching, and it doesn't feel all that great, well, then it just produces more of the experience of not having more often than not. Yeah. But if you're producing feelings of having, then it's a joyful pursuit to whatever you're going towards, and things tend to line up a little bit better, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And you follow that nudge, that guidance, that next step. You know, it's kind of weird how it happens. For me, I get in my own way a lot of times when it comes to abundance. Old triggers and old things that come up every once in a while. I'm lucky to have him because he continues to remind me that my feelings are guiding this. So if I feel fearful or if I'm worried or whatever, he pops me out of that by saying something like, well, how do you want to feel? How would you like for this to be different? Do you notice what you're doing right now? Instead of him saying, this is wrong what you're doing. No, it's not like that. He's never done that to me. He says, maybe in your head, but never like outwardly. He'll ask me questions. And I think that, being the practitioner or coach or whatever for your clients, if you choose to see them or you're just kind of coaching yourself through something, just asking the right questions can be really valuable.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, because it's a redirect.
Yeah.
It's a redirect from stopping ourselves or helping someone else to go down a more preferred path.
Yeah.
And if we don't know our own power, I mean, it's so easy just to be led down rabbit holes of thinking in ways that aren't producing where we're wanting to go really, but they're kind of seductive and it feels easy and it feels that and this. But so, I mean, whenever we go down those roads, we do remember to ask each other, how do you want it to be? Do you want to do something differently? I mean, that's a great question. What would you want to do differently? I mean, I ask that to myself sometimes,
Yeah, I think that's massive. Let's see. Marianne. This is great. She says, Eileen says exponential manifestation. Ooh, I love that.
That's a good one.
I love that idea. It's like you get to see, this is the thing. Sometimes this is the trap that I've found myself in the past has been, I'll reach a goal and then I'll go, well, now what? Now what do I do? And then I'll kind of stop myself, or my goal is not big enough. And so then I feel like I get there and then I just kind of stop. So, make your goals really obnoxiously big and fun and funny and wild. And you're going to notice that growth, that manifestation will happen, kind of creates its own momentum, I believe. Yeah. We were preferred. Yes, more preferred path, please. And thank you. What would I want to do differently? What do I want differently? Yeah. Very good. All right. So do you feel like you are complete with our time?
I can keep going. I can stop, whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah. What do you guys think? You have any questions for us? Do you have any thoughts, or are you working on a problem right now that you would like some help with? We could do a little quick coaching with you guys right now if you want. In the meantime, why don't we do one more little quick card and then we'll and if we don't see any questions,
this is one of Kira's favorites.
Uh-oh.
What the thinker thinks, the prover proves.
This is my favorite card of all time.
Why don't you read this one?
Okay. The human mind has two main functions, a thinker and a prover. Whatever the thinker thinks, the prover proves that thought to be true. If a person thinks they're stupid, their prover will prove that to be true. If they think they are clever, the prover will prove that to be true. Over time, the circumstances of your life come into line with whatever you've been thinking. Amazing, but true. Your life conditions are the result of what you've been thinking and feeling over time. Why not ask yourself what thoughts and feelings you'd like to have? Again, it's shifting that and saying, what do I want? What do I really want? And whatever I've been putting my focus and attention on is what's going to expand. But I love that one because we have to be willing to step outside of the things that we've been proving to be true. One of the easiest ways I think to do that is to do something called, we call it the 88. You can call it the 100. It's from Lynn Grabhorn's book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, which is very much based in Abraham Hicks. And this particular one is incredible because it creates new neural pathways and it sets you up for more success, because we tend to get stuck in thinking one way, or only one way of doing things. And we then prove ourselves to be true, proves it to be right when we say, well, see, I tried that, or I did that, and this is the result. And that can only be one result, right? And it's like, no. There's bunches of ways.
One way I look at it, one of many ways you could look at this is how much beliefs do I need to process through of my own to get from here to there. And do I even get from here to there, or do I stop myself between here and there? And, personal development, in a perfect world is one of the great things you can do with it is reduce the number of beliefs you have that aren't serving you, especially to help you to allow more quickly to have more of the things, feelings, and experiences that you do want. So if the thinker thinks that they have to check every single box before having something, then they're going to prove that experience of needing to check every single box before experiencing something. Whereas if we bypass that, or like Abraham says, or Sonia Roman says, or Wayne Dyer says, if you just get into the essence of it, and feeling of it and allow it, then the energy is moving really, really fast, like Abraham Hicks says. And then you get into that fast track for allowing a lot more. That's the kind of track of thinker thinks, prover proves that I would prefer to be on. I would like to prove that it's so damn easy to have what I want that I would like to do it all the time. And I just have to remember that it starts with how I allow myself to feel. It doesn't start. The opposite of that is, I have to feel crappy on my pursuit to getting that thing. and it's so easy.
It's all hard work.
It's so easy to fall into that. And I do it all the time, but we get better as we go too, so the thinker thinks what the thinker thinks, the prover proves.
Yeah. So so that's where we have to consider our thoughts. One of our coaches says, stalk yourself for all of your belief systems, pull on all the threads you got going on and say, is this absolutely true? Is this 100% true? And usually it's not. Great. Mary Ann has a question or a situation she'd like some help with. We're going on safari in Africa in February. I'd like to stay in the excitement and not focus on anxiety of 21-hour flight. Help, she says. Do you have any thoughts on that, Todd, or you want me to jump in? Or
well, I think I would say the same thing as you, which is don't put any energy into keeping yourself out of anxiety. As we say with hypnosis and hypnotherapy, the subconscious mind does not understand the word no. So you say, don't do this, don't think about this, don't think about this, don't think about this, do not think about this. Your subconscious mind will think about it because the mind understands attention. It doesn't understand not. This is what all this law of attraction stuff is based on. So instead of focusing on what you don't want, you really have to redirect yourself to focus on what you do want. So Marianne, definitely focus on the excitement. You gotta, when you got anxiety or fear coming up, breathe through it if you need to, or whatever feels natural to feel better, but focus on feeling better. And if you can, just redirect yourself immediately to those feelings of excitement and the visuals and the audio that make it real for your mind, and keep your attention there, even though your mind, the fear-based part of you, wants to focus on pulling you back into the past and those emotions. If you're feeling emotions, you're in your past. So fear-based emotions. Mm-hmm. So keep the attention on what you're wanting as much as possible. And then your subconscious will start to produce feelings of excitement. And then you're like, oh, this is getting easier. All right. It's not that fearful after all. I'm feeling better and better and better about this. And that is how the mind works.
Yeah. And let's see, I would add maybe, we can give you lots of ideas. And I think some people are already chiming in with some ideas of what you could be doing during that 21-hour flight. And I'd also suggest that, considering times where you have spent a day at home and it was very enjoyable. And I know you're like me, we have kind of some travel triggers and things like that. But at the same time, just like how to say, focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And instead go, okay, well, what would make this time more enjoyable? Maybe I can write. Maybe I can talk to some new people. Maybe
Read.
I can read. Maybe I can actually take this
Podcasts.
time. Yes. Maybe I can take this time out for myself. Maybe there's some things that you're wanting to that you never have time to do at home, and all of those things, and think about it in that way. That's one way to do it, where you just fill your time and you think about all the things that you're wanting to do. But what I have found is that when I have some kind of a long flight, is that I always get nervous. It always happens. Maybe one day it won't. But I also learned to shift that into excitement and focusing, like he said, on that excitement. Oh my gosh, who am I going to meet? Who am I going to talk to? Who is going to sit next to me? Who is my friend that's going to be with me?
What do I have to look forward to?
What do I have to look forward to during this 21 hours where I get to be all to myself? I get to pop in my earphones. I get to relax. I get to sit back. I get to do whatever I want. And, honestly, I think that there's been plenty of times where I've sat on that couch for at least 16 hours while I was just doing nothing. So, just being transparent here. And the rest of the time can be filled with some other fun stuff. So I hope that was helpful. I know we don't really want to solve that problem, but we want to say, how can it be enjoyable?
It's about the best takeaway, I think, is remembering to redirect yourself. Remembering to redirect. What you redirect to doesn't really matter, as long as it's something that's more constructive and positive to where you're wanting to go.
Yeah. And the time warp. The time warp, when you get into a great conversation with someone, or you start doing something that feels really enjoyable to you, and all of a sudden the time flies by. Time doesn't exist anyway, so you might as well just enjoy it.
Timeless.
Right? I was in the car driving back from Sedona with Diane.
Hi, Ginger.
Hi, Gingy. And the one who says, think how awesome it is to be going and take some travel info with you. Whoever that is, can you say your name so I can see who you are? Because I want to say hi. It felt like it was 10 minutes. It felt like it was 10 minutes. So allow yourself to know that there's a possibility on that airplane for a flow, for an openness, for a possibility that you may not have been thinking about. One of the things that Todd does for me whenever I travel is that you visualize for me a white light of the path.
That's right.
The flight path. And every time he does that and he tells me about it, I always have such a beautiful and enjoyable trip going where I'm going. So
it's Patricia.
Oh, Patricia. I'm so sorry, Patricia. All right. Gingy, let's see.
And I think Bonnie said something good.
Yeah. Bonnie, let's see.
Bonnie said,
listening
to someone like Abraham Hicks helps me for those long periods of time. Totally. I've listened to so much Abraham Hicks, just playing it in the background.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
It's awesome. Or just podcasts. If my mind is being the slightest bit wonky, then I will just put my earbuds in and listen to podcasts or Abraham and just flood it and redirect.
My gosh.
Never underestimate the power of distraction.
Everyone, just type in Abraham Hicks rampage. It sounds bad. It sounds bad. Ooh, they're on a rampage. She does a rampage of appreciation.
Yeah.
And I will just listen to that stuff on a loop if I'm feeling down or crappy. And I want to get my mind back into that thinker that thinks, improver that proves. I want my thinker to start thinking in a positive way.
And the cool thing is that there are so many Abraham Hicks videos on YouTube now, because she's done so many things and so many people put the audio on there, that you could search for like almost any topic you want and feel better on that topic, and it'll raise your vibration too. For
sure. And Jerry, thank you so much for your comment. Africa is great. Sleep on the flight. That 21 hours goes fast. Yes, it does. Marianne, I'll be happy to send you we've got a YouTube link out there. I'll put it under your comment and give you the YouTube video for a 15-minute meditation, and that'll help refresh you also as you're kind of going along. You might find that helpful. Let's see. Patricia says, think how awesome it is to be going and take some travel info with you or something you've been putting off to occupy. Write about how you feel. You're going to have an amazing flight and time. And that is our wish for you for sure. And again, we want to say hi to Let's see, Ginger. So great, great to talk this past weekend. Yes, it was. Ginger, I had such a great time with you at Celebrate Your Life event. You are a rock star, girlfriend. Thank you so much. Marianne says, maybe I need to be hypnotized. I can't wait. Girl, we got you, baby. Oh, Kenny says, let's see, Rampage of Appreciation. That's awesome. And then Bonnie is giving a link here. Looks like this one is so amazing. So that one is obviously don't try to type that into your computer, but you can go to Bonnie's comment there if you can. Otherwise, I'll put a few videos on here as well. Ginger, you guys are so great to me and Todd. You both rock stars. What is Talia? Talia. Hey, Talia. Hey, I was just working on my submission for Wisdom Keeper.
Right.
Woohoo! Yes, share that wisdom, girlfriend. She has been rocking it. She's been, I think she was, you were just in
Traveling,
collaboration book. Another collaboration, I think, was 365. So that is very exciting with Sunny, I believe. Did you also do the Wild Woman with Melissa? I think you did. But yeah, I'm so happy to see you out here, Talia. We love you. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is a great first episode of Unscripted with Todd and Kira.
That's right.
I so appreciate you guys. We're going to try to do this maybe every day, right around the same time, 11:11.
That's the goal.
Wouldn't that be fun? Bonnie, where do you suggest about looking into for NLP if one is interested in it? Well, that brings us to the next piece here. So we do, Bonnie, we just opened our hypnotherapy school at hypnotherapyschool.net. And please go out there. We've got some really cool stuff Can
you type it in?
For folks. Yes, I can. Yeah.
Maybe grab the URL. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Todd's gonna type. But we have just opened our hypnotherapy school. Registration is going to be closing on December 1st. We've got tons and tons and tons of audios and videos and all kinds of good stuff for you. And we are going to be doing some really, really cool stuff. So please head out to hypnotherapyschool.net, enroll, just put in your enrollment application, get into the student lineup. That's really huge. So that when we go to do our student interviews, you'll already be in the lineup for that. We also have a free how to make your first $10,000 as a hypnotherapist, a clinical hypnotherapist. This works really with any type of holistic practitioner.
True.
Get that information. That's free out there. It's going to be a pop-up. Just put in your name and your email address, and we'll be able to get you some really cool info on how to start making money, girl. Make money, baby. But also, too, we want to have that energy exchange with our clients so that we can help them to transform their lives. Otherwise, everybody's got to eat, right? Like we all got to, take care of our families and that kind of thing. And the pitfall that I've seen so often with many practitioners is that they don't get their worth. And that's something that we really, really focus on, the business aspect in our training school. We also do training for neurolinguistic programming, hypnotherapy, and all kinds of good stuff.
Yes. One thing that a lot of certification schools do not offer is robust business marketing training. And we do offer it and as a part of the curriculum, as a part of the program. So you can actually learn how to set up a 6-figure practice with our business marketing training, all inclusive with your hypnotherapy certification. Yeah.
Bonnie says she is checking it out now. Gigi is saying devoting this evening to filling out my book cover form and hypnotherapy form. Yay! So very good, Gigi. Oh my God.
You just got to we had a photo with Gigi at the event.
We did. Awesome. It was so fun. I got about 3,000 hugs from Gigi this weekend, and it was so much fun. Kenny said this killed. Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
Rock on.
Rock on. All right. Well, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to us at connect@hypnotherapyschool.net. We'd love to hear from you and connect. Gigi's saying she's just finally recovered
from the jet lag?
Yeah, me too. I took all day yesterday and just slept on the couch. It was great.
Oh yeah, you got to take a
great.
day. I always take a day off after traveling.
Yeah,
you got to give your body time.
To. Oh, and yet we still launched a book yesterday successfully. JG's book. In color, so definitely check that out. That one's still available. So I'm just so thrilled. We went so far.
Yeah,
over
this was going to be like 10 minutes, but then all this energy kind of showed up, and we're just kind of like bam, 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 bam. Why not? You know, and all you guys showed up, and that was awesome.
Oh, Tara Jack said my throat is a mess right now. Girl, I understand. She talked and she was selling some beautiful, beautiful crystal jewelry and the whole 9 yards. Put your link, Tara, into this thread because I really want people to see your artwork, your jewelry artwork. It's exquisite. Yeah. It really is. But she was doing a talk at the same time I was. And we were so bummed because she was like, I wish I was coming to yours. And I was like, I wish I was coming to yours. But we harmonized so beautifully, energetically, I think. So Tara, I love you. Gargle girl, gargle. get you some salt water. All right. Again, guys, thanks so much. And we will be talking to you again, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
What?
I'm down.
Yeah. All right, guys. I love you. We will talk to you all soon. And I don't know how to do things. Okay. I know how to end broadcast. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'm hitting buttons and they're not working.
Hit the button.
Hit the button.